Ooh, what's up, Internet? This is our spoiler chat for the second episode of Loki. My name's Nerdy.
And I'm Clarus.
We get Nerdy Nightly.
And we thought we'd share it with you.
I am crushing these intros lately. Oh my god, I'm doing so well. What's up, Clarus?
You know, it's no longer Disney Plus Day on Friday. It's now Disney Plus Wednesday, Friday. So that's
lots of Disney
fun.
Plus shows.
They're kind of taking over.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah. For now. Well, it's not dangerous. Anyways, how are you doing?
What's dangerous about
It's fine. Disney
television?
Disney will be one day our benevolent overlords, and that's just
if you pay
how
us.
it is.
If you pay us, Disney.
We're fine with that.
Yeah, I've worked for Disney in the past. It was great. I had a great working relationship with them. So,
Good.
thankfully, I have nicer things to say this week about Loki than I think I did last week.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie, I did not love the first episode of the show. I liked it, and I liked like the components. But I think if you watched last week's spoiler chat, there was a lot of things that I found just not to my taste.
Yeah.
And it's not like the quality of the show. It's really just about like what I like to watch.
Okay.
I don't love storylines that involve omnipresence, right? I said that. And I think that what I really appreciate now about the first episode is that we are getting into the storyline of this show is about how that omnipresence is fake.
Yes.
And I like that. And so I'm actually, this episode, and I think I said last week, or at least I said to you, I wish they put out the first two episodes like they did for WandaVision.
I'm pretty sure we said that in our chat.
Yeah.
Pretty sure we said that, like, this first episode was not enough. Mm-hmm. And they really, like, I really wish that they had put out these two episodes together.
Having seen where this episode ends now, I do wish they'd done that just because I feel like this episode actually sets up what this show is.
Yeah.
Whereas the first episode was a recap of the Loki story.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting, right? I feel like
It felt more like a prologue.
Yes. That's the point I'm getting into, is I think that a lot of storytelling right now doesn't start at inciting incident. We get a lot of storytelling in modern storytelling that starts before the inciting incident of the actual story we're watching.
Yeah.
And I it's a weird trend. We get all these prequels and stuff that are just they're about like the story before the story, but it's not really a story. It's what you would put at the it's backstory.
Mm-hmm.
And so this episode, I feel like we finally got the inciting incident of this series.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so much more excited for next week now than I was from last week into this week.
Yes. Same. I think that this was a stronger episode overall in terms of, honestly, in terms of everything. In terms of story, in terms of character, in terms of excitement, in terms of action. Like, I don't know. I'm, pardon me, I loved this episode.
Yeah, I did as well. I thought it was really well done. I thought everyone really brought it. I loved seeing more of Gugu Mbatha-Raw's character. I mean, obviously, she's such an incredible actress. Ever since I first saw her in Concussion, I've just been like so. I just adore her like acting ability. I think she's so fantastic.
Yeah.
And her relationship with Owen Wilson's Morbius character is really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the interplay with them in her office. That scene was really strong in my opinion. Both of them actually. Getting to see more of Owen Wilson. I feel like he's crushing it.
Yeah, we talked about him a lot. Like, he's great in this role. He's great in the show. You can tell he's having so much fun. Like, I don't know. This doesn't seem like his usual kind of gig. From what I've seen Owen Wilson in, anyways.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Right? Like, I'm pretty sure I know. He was Blades of Glory, right?
Yep.
No. Yes?
He's in Blades of Glory, yeah.
Yeah, he's in... I don't know. Like, I just... like...
Is he in Blades of Glory?
No, I think it's the...
I think he's in the movie. I think he cameos in that movie, right?
I don't remember.
He's not the lead. No, the lead is...
no, I know. I'm thinking
Napoleon
of...
Dynamite.
Yeah. Sorry, I get them confused in my head.
You get Owen Wilson and... oh, God.
Whatever.
What was his
name? Napoleon Dynamite. Yes, I do. It happens, and I'm sorry. Because it's Will Ferrell, and... Yeah. Anyways, those are the kinds of movies that, like... I don't know. I haven't seen him in something like this, and I think he's doing a freaking amazing job.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Obviously, Tom Hiddleston brings it. But he was a little all over the place this episode.
Yeah, his character is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird because it's not the Loki that we're used to right now.
Yeah.
Like, he is, he's kind of on the back foot, which doesn't,
Mm-hmm.
like...
And he seems uncomfortable there.
Yeah, he seems uncomfortable. And it's smart. It's really clever. And I think that he's doing a really good job of portraying that, because it puts you on edge a little bit. You're like, oh, this isn't where he wants to be right now at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, in any sense of the word. Like,
the one thing I will say is you brought up that the action was better this episode, and the one thing about this show that I'm not loving is the action.
Yeah,
I don't think the fight sequences look particularly good.
No.
Which is weird because we've seen Loki in really cool fight sequences in the Avengers movie, in Thor Ragnarok, and the opening scene in the tent, they started to play I Need a Hero. Like, what a song, what an amped up song. And then the fight I was expecting this like really awesome fight choreography, and it kind of wasn't.
Yeah.
And then the fight sequence in the rock store or whatever, the supermarket at the end between Loki and the guy who the spoiler that we'll get to is inhabiting. I was like, oh, this is the main villain and the main character fighting, and it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It doesn't look bad, I don't think.
It doesn't look great.
But yeah, it's not, I'm not like, whoa. I'm kind of like...
And I think we're so spoiled, like, coming off of the fight sequences in Captain America and the Winter Soldier, or Falcon Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I did kind of feel a little bit let down when they're like, punch, and then, oh my god, and then swing something, oh my god. And I was like, wow, this is kind of not great.
Yeah, it was definitely yeah. You know what? I think I'm gonna backpedal and say I think the action was better in the first episode, just with the scene of him trying to like escape the TVA.
That scene was good. Yeah,
like that's better, and I would consider that kind of more action.
And here's the thing: I know that the action isn't the focus of this show. Like,
no.
I know that, but at the same time, if you're going to have it be good.
Yeah, and when you have those kind of sequences, it sets the stakes in a lot of ways, and when it's like meh, then we're also kind of meh about what's happening. And I think that they either should have done more or not done it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree with that.
There should have been, like, magic instead of, like, combat, or something else to the same effect.
But that's, like, my one complaint. Everything else about this episode I really loved.
Yeah.
The main thrust of this episode is Loki is finally put to work by Morbius after being hired last week to figure something out about the variant Loki. And Loki is put into a library?
Yeah.
The TVA is very confusing to me right now. I don't, like... It doesn't seem like a real place.
Yeah. And maybe it's not.
Is interesting, but also is kind of like... These people, like... The people who... No wonder the people who work here haven't caught this Loki. They're not people. They don't function.
Yeah.
Like, the library lady is, like, hilariously not paying attention to him until he rings the bell. And that's just not how, like... It's not how people work.
Yeah. Like,
you're really bad at your job. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's definitely not Earth. It
is aesthetic for aesthetic's sake sometimes, and that is fun. But if you think about it for too long, you're like, well, yeah, no wonder the TVA is terrible. Look at how these people work together.
Yeah.
They're rude. They're condescending. They don't they just kind of like talk over each other. They don't have modern technology, even though they have time travel. It's kind of like, yeah, no crap. Also, I just want to bring this up. Opening sequence, right? The TVA guys the TVA group goes in there, and the masked stranger beats up 4 of them, kidnaps one of them, and kidnaps them to another time and place, right? The end of the episode, they go into the rock store and they're like, all right, well, you two go that way and you two go that way. Loki doesn't have a weapon. It's going to be fine. No problems. And I'm like, what? You are fighting someone who already took out 4 of you at once, multiple times, over and over and over again. You really think that splitting up into small parties of 2 is the best way to handle this person?
Well, and it's interesting because, like, we had already established that time before a disaster, you cannot, like, branch off. So it's not like they had a time limit. You know, it makes sense to split up the group if you need to search a large area in a short amount of time.
Right.
But for this, it didn't, because they didn't have a time constraint. I mean, they had, obviously, the hurricane was about to get there, but they have a bit of time before that. Usually they have, like, 3 minutes to set up the charges before the timeline gets past 3 or whatever it is.
Right, but because... Okay, so Loki in this episode realizes that in the time before an apocalypse, you can do whatever you want because it won't create a branching timeline because everything gets wiped away anyway.
Yeah.
Which isn't actually true. It's weird that they use Pompeii as the example of this, because Pompeii is a situation where those people were calcified. Or not calcified, I don't know what the right word was, but they were immortalized in stone in the ashes of Pompeii.
Because of the ashes, yeah.
And so actually by changing what happens, you would change what the stone statues that were to live on were to be. And so you would actually change the way that future people would interact with Pompeii. And so you could have a whole butterfly effect over one person being in like a different room in Pompeii than they were supposed to be in. So if you were to change Pompeii specifically, there is a chance that it would drastically change the future.
Yeah, that's weird. We also know
I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna use an apocalypse as an example, don't use a one that the apocalypse made something that has lasted forever.
Yeah, that's fair. And they also said specifically it has to be one where there's no survivors. And, like, if you've seen Doctor Who, you know that there are survivors of Pompeii, so it doesn't make sense.
Okay, I was making, like, a scientific point, and I felt really smart, and now I feel like an idiot. So, thanks for that. So Loki figures this out. It's kind of, like, this was the highlight of the whole episode to me, even the reveal at the end. The fun of Loki figuring that out, and then going to go test it in Pompeii, despite my reservations about using Pompeii specifically. The fun of that was the show that I want. Like Loki and Owen Wilson, because it's Owen Wilson.
Yeah.
There are none of the TV are characters. They're just the actors, because they're not people. They don't really have relationships. They don't function in any sort of society that makes sense. So it's just fun actors doing fun things. Owen Wilson and Loki traveling through time trying to solve a puzzle is very fun.
Yeah.
I'm slightly disappointed that they solved the puzzle immediately at the end of this episode. I'm very excited for what the end of that puzzle leads into for the future of the show. But I was kind of hoping for, like, time hijinks with Loki and Owen Wilson, and we got one.
Okay, but, like, we might get more of that. Like, there might be more layers, more puzzles, more things. Because, like, yeah, I honestly think that was the highlight of the episode as well.
It was so fun. That scene in Pompeii, excellent.
Yeah. And, like, I hope that they recognize the strength of that kind of moment and they do more of it. We'll see. I don't know.
I just feel like because the show is 6 episodes, we have to get through things so fast. Because the story is so... It's branching.
Yeah. Yeah, they left it off, I think, at a really cool moment.
Yes.
Yes.
Should we just get to the end of the episode?
Unless you have anything else.
I mean, the whole episode is really about this moment, right? The Lady Loki appears. She pulls her hood down, and she is Lady Loki, as devilishly handsome and beautiful as you would expect her to be. Very, very concerning human being, or alien, or god, or whatever, to be out and about destroying timelines. She has taken all of the reset charges from the many agents that she has attacked throughout history, and she has rigged a time door reset bomb sequence to go off in which all of the reset charges will be displaced throughout history to cause chaos. However, when a reset charge goes off, it's orange. But hers are purple. So I'm assuming they're anti-reset charges?
So they are going back and undoing all the resets?
I don't know. They could do anything. I have a feeling it's going to be more they create temporal chaos, but across the whole timeline. And we see Gugu Mbatha-Raw grab her little stick off the wall. She's ready to get back in the field.
Yep.
We see all the TVA just running through time doors to who knows where.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would have thought they would have like sat down and maybe come up with a plan first.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how the TVA works.
I think I think that like if I have a problem with the show, that's it.
Yeah.
I don't know how the TVA works. Like they seem like they're in a rush. But they're outside of time, so don't they have all the time in the world? Why are they rushing?
I don't know.
Like, what is their like? Is as far as the paths branching off, right? Okay, just don't leave the TVA. Wait in the TVA until you come up with a plan, and then go solve it. If there's no time problem. But here's the thing that this is the central problem with the show for me right now that I need the show to kind of answer is either the TVA is outside of time and space, at which point they wouldn't. That doesn't work, right? That doesn't actually make any sense. Or they are in time and space, and their flow of time matters, and so they have to have a rush. But there shouldn't be any like stakes as far as time goes in the TVA unless it happens actually in the TVA. If they exist outside of time, because they have all the time in the world while they're in the TVA to come up with a plan and then jump into the real world to solve the problem. But the show behaves as if the time in the TVA matters.
Yeah, well, because they have their little line screen thingy.
They have their line
lines.
screen thingy. Yep.
And so they have to exist within some kind of time frame because those branches, those timelines that branch off, once they hit a certain point, they can't be undone. So the TVA has to exist within some kind of time stream because otherwise those branches would never get larger.
Yes.
So yeah, So they definitely don't have all the time in the world. They do have to act in real time, but they can also move around time. Yeah, it's weird.
So they either have to act in real time, which means that the TVA is in real time, or it's not. And they don't. But they keep saying that time works differently there, and they're like trying to like, don't worry about it, and I'm highly concerned about it.
I am concerned.
It's my single greatest question if your show is about time travel.
Yeah.
Why does time moving in the real world matter if your central hub doesn't move through time?
Yeah. I don't know. And the whole thing about the freaking the Time Lords, not the creators, whatever the heck.
Yeah, the time wizards or time snakes or lizards. Lizards?
I don't know what they are. Like they're like, oh, they're currently in the process of untangling all the threads so we can all meet in harmony and order at the end of time. And I was
That's a cult.
Yeah. Like danger, Will Robinson.
Also,
that's a red flag.
I find it really interesting that like a normal timekeeper has the information of how to get to them.
Yeah.
She's like, I gave it away. I'm like, why did you know?
Yeah. How do you know how to get to these all-knowing, ever-present beings that? But they're not. I don't know. It's weird.
Do you think we meet them in the show, or do you think it's like one of those things that like we never actually see?
I think that they are an idea. I don't know if they actually exist as beings.
No, they have to exist.
No, I think
maybe not in that form, but like.
No, I don't. I like.
They have to exist.
My idea is that they existed once, and this just keeps going because.
But someone has to know the timeline.
Yeah, it's the little red line that they all look at.
Yeah, but that has to come from somewhere, right? Like, it can't come from nothing.
Yeah, it can come from, like, I don't know. I don't think they're going to be, like, physical beings. I think that it's going to be more of, like,
I'm pretty sure one of them is Kang the Conqueror.
Right, you did say that.
I might be wrong. I just, Jetsons animation.
Yeah.
One of them, the middle one, looks like Kang the Conqueror. And I know I'm not the only person who thinks that. I've seen that all across the internet all week. So I think that, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. It just feels very much like this agency is working for, like, an idea as opposed to 3 people. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. I just think that, like, that...
That's also, like, very... I don't know how they would reveal that and explain it in 6 episodes, so...
Well, that's the problem, right? Like, we're a third of the way through the show.
Yeah.
And I know they said we're getting a season 2, so, like, there's potential for more, but... you know, we're a third of the way through. This is moving fast.
Yeah.
And... yeah, I don't know. What do you think Lady Loki's plan is? What do you think she wants?
Well, this could be just a Loki who's looking for chaos. Or maybe Lady Loki is also looking to basically ruin and take down the TVA and does not want to team up with other Loki to do it because then it's less impressive. I don't know. Ego is always a thing, right?
Or it's not Loki.
But I want it to be...
I know, but it could be the Enchantress.
The Enchantress?
Yes. Yes, as Guardian villain, the Enchantress. She had a line in this episode. She said, like, enchantment is something, when she was talking to Loki. And I was like, wait a second, what? And then the way that her green magic, when she touches people, is just a little bit different than Loki's.
Yeah.
As we've seen it throughout the series. And I think that there is a chance that it is the Enchantress using Loki and the fact that people know that Loki is a shapeshifter as a vessel to sow her chaos. I think there's a chance. Just because of the way that, like, it passed from person to person through the green touch.
Yeah.
I was like, and then she said enchantment in one of her lines. And it just, like, burrowed into my brain. And I was like, wait a second.
Yeah, okay, I could see that. Would be... here's the thing, though, with the TVA. Like, the TVA would have a, like, file on all, like, on every variant of Loki and the Enchantress, right? So wouldn't they know if it was Loki for sure or not?
Well, no, they didn't even know that this was a Lady Loki.
I mean, maybe they did.
That's true. I guess they never really said that. No, they said that it should look like him. Like, didn't they?
I don't think so.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It just seemed weird. It seemed weird that her magic worked differently than we've seen Loki's work. And also she was...
Wait, are you talking about Enchantress from Suicide Squad?
No. That's DC.
Yeah, I was like...
No, so there are 2 Enchantresses. There's an Enchantress in DC Comics.
Of course
and then there's an Enchantress in Marvel Comics.
And they both use green magic.
Yes.
Of course, yeah, that makes...
Yeah, but no, Enchantress in DC Comics is like a famous Asgardian villain.
Gotcha.
Who fights Loki and Thor a lot. Okay. And uses, like, you know, she, like, makes Thor fall in love with her to, like, try and destroy Asgard.
Cool. Okay,
She's that kind of villain.
I was like, wait a second.
No. We're not talking about the Twitch from the Suicide Squad movie.
Gotcha.
Not the Suicide Squad movie.
No,
Suicide Squad movie. God damn it, DC.
Why would you do this to us?
James Gunn, I love you so much. But why did you just add a to the same movie title?
Yeah, thank you for that.
It's not even that old. That movie came out like 5 years ago. Okay.
It's like when you're talking about Room or The Room, you have to clarify that it's The Room or Room.
Except those are wildly different films made by different studios that are totally unrelated. This is a direct sequel.
That's true.
This is a direct sequel whose only difference in naming is a the. It is so insane to me. It has the same star. It has the same aesthetic, and it is in the same universe, and it is the Suicide Squad.
It would be like having Endgame and the Endgame.
Oh, yeah. Or Iron Man and the Iron Man.
Yeah, I hate it. Anyways, I don't know what Lady Loki is up to. I don't know what those charges are set to do, but I am excited to find out.
Yeah, I'm excited to find out. I'm so much more excited for this show now. This episode really, like, showed me the potential of the show having just its own world, really. Like, and, you know, I know that in these episodes we talk a lot about how, like, because it's time travel, a lot of that stuff doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's fun despite that, right? And like, and here's the fun thing. Like, I know that we talk a lot about like, well, that doesn't really make any sense. That doesn't make something bad. And I think that that's important, right? Like, I think that if you're going to play with time travel and you don't get it perfect, that's okay because there's no perfect time travel.
Yeah.
Back to the Future is a brilliant movie, despite the fact that I could sit, if I wanted to sit here and do a spoiler chat on it, I could sit there for 4 hours and be like, what?
Yeah.
The nuance of the conversation is fun, but the show can also be good. It's different than like Army of the Dead. Like our spoiler chat for Army of the Dead, I was like, this whole movie was stupid because the characters were stupid.
Yeah.
This show isn't stupid. It's very smart. It just functions in a version of time travel that I happen to personally find a little bit problematic.
Well, and we don't understand how time travel works or what it is. Like, we
100%.
like, you know, it's not a real possibility for us. Like, it doesn't, like, we are not there yet. And so
we never will be.
Probably not.
No,
because otherwise
if
time travelers
existed,
would be here.
We would have met a time traveler.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the conundrum of time travel. If time travel existed, one of two things would have happened. We would have either destroyed ourselves already, or we would have destroyed ourselves. Actually, I think there's only one real possibility. I think that if time travel were to ever get existed, Yep. Humanity would ultimately destroy itself.
Yep, I agree.
Because we would either someone evil would get a hold of it and would destroy humanity for like the sake of destroying humanity, or someone benevolent would get it and they would destroy humanity by attempting to undo all the wrongs of humanity, and it would cause worse wrongs.
So awful that it doesn't matter. You can't fix it.
No, you can't.
Anyways, wow.
That's fun. That's a fun final thought.
Yeah, and Lady Loki.
Super hot. Very, very, very attractive.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about those little horns on her forehead, but
I'm into it. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. You good?
Did we miss anything important? Oh, Miss Minutes is like a character. Super fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
I love Miss Minutes. I want to get a Miss Minutes tattoo on my butt cheek.
No, you don't.
Okay. If you like this video, like and subscribe to the channel. If you don't, hit the dislike button. Leave me comments down below. We might respond to them with some sass. Sorry about that. But let's be honest. The algorithm god is hungry, and we must feed her. So keep interacting with our content. As always, you can follow us over on Twitch. I'm over at twitch.tv/nerdynightly.
I'm over at twitch.tv/ClarishTakaris.
And as always, my name is Nerdy.
And I'm Clarus.
Do something nerdy tonight, you dang nerds.
Bye, guys.
Bye.